Let's look at one state that is so divided. There is a move underway to carve it in two. A group in Oregon says the two sides of the Northwestern state are wildly different, with everything from landscape to lifestyle reinforcing differences in ideology. Nick Harper traveled across the state to find out more.
Oregon is a state of extremes, in an extreme state of division, battling a rising tide of dissension. It might be a little hard to tell in the mist, but this is the very edge of Oregon, its western coastline where it meets the Pacific Ocean. It's also the start of our more than 600-kilometre journey, right across the state to its eastern edge. This is the western part of Oregon, where people are progressive, lifestyles liberal. Home to the state's urban metropolises like Portland and Salem, and where the majority vote Democrat. Saturday would be a pleasure. Even at this peaceful Sunday market, there are simmering tensions.
I definitely feel that division, and when you drive around different communities, you just get a strong sense of it.
And why do you think the East wants to get away from the West?
I think they're trying to get away from the people in Portland and Salem.
Why is that?
Because they're all Democrats.
Moving east, as the landscape changes, so does the politics. Sitting on the dividing line is the city of Prineville. In May, voters here became the latest to say they want to leave Oregon. So far, 13 of the state's 36 counties have agreed to join largely Republican Idaho.
They don't feel like they're represented, so they want to take their toys and go next door.
Democrat Brian Samp is fighting to keep the state together and is running for a seat in Oregon's House of Representatives.
If everybody is willing to sit down and actually have a discussion instead of point fingers, we might get something done.
Everything to the west of here is the liberal, majority Democratic voting part of the state, and to the east is the conservative Republican part of the state. And this is where they want to redraw the state line, making everything on this side part of Idaho.
I mean, if this is what the people want, and Idaho is willing to take us, why not?
For Matt McCaw, it's not a question of why shouldn't the state divide, but rather why wouldn't it? In the US, we so often hear how politics is divided. Do you have any worry that this movement might make things even more divisive?
No, just the opposite, actually. You know, the Greater Idaho movement didn't come along and cause division. The division has always been here.
If both states agree to the split, the plan would go to Congress for approval. The sun could be setting on the old Oregon. 2 hours further east, closer to the Idaho border, are communities that feel even more closely aligned with Idaho. Tony Foster runs a wrecking yard in Hines and believes Oregon's divisions are beyond repair.
Stop the push. Let people live their life. They've been doing it for years. Let them do it. We need to keep our values. It's family, friends, God and country. You have to have it all.
Oregon's Great Divide comes down to politics, but also a way of life. Older family values versus modern thinking, and a suggestion that polarization may be solved by the East saying so long Oregon, hello Idaho. Nick Harper, CNA.